Hello people, let's solve this question which says y is equal to 2x squared minus 21x plus 64. Y is equal to 3x plus 8 if a is a constant and the given system intersect at one point. Emphasis on this one point, at one point, x comma y. What is the value of x? Now look at the two equations. This is a quadratic equation, while this is a linear equation from what we were told. If they intersect at one point, it means that these two equations would be equal at that particular point. So if y is equal to 2x squared minus 21x plus 64, and y again is equal to 3x plus 8, so we have to equate the both equations if they intersect at a particular point. So that's going to be 2x squared, that's this first one, minus 21x, and then plus 64. This is equal to this second equation, which is equal to 3x plus a. Now let's take 3x plus a to the left-hand side and let's have them on one side. That's going to be what? 2x squared minus 21x plus 64, and then minus 3x, then minus a, all is equal to what? 0. So let's move on. I'm going to rearrange this now. That will be 2x squared, and then minus 21x, then minus 3x, plus 6a, plus 64 rather, plus 64 minus a. Remember, they said a is a constant, so we can put them, so we can put 8 together with 64. This is equal to what? 0. Let's simplify this. This is going to be what? 2x squared minus 21x minus 3x is what? Minus 24x. And then you have plus 64 minus a is equal to 0. Now there's something we have to stress on here. They intersect at one point. If they intersect at one point, you are going to have equal root. Let me give you an instance. If you have, let's say this is a Cartesian plane, don't mind this diagram. Now you have a curve. This is a quadratic, this is a graph for a quadratic equation. And then you have a straight line. If the straight line goes through this curve like this, you have two solutions, right? Because they intersect at 2 points, here and here. But what we have is not this case. They said they intersect at one point. I even stressed it before, at one point, which means the straight line does not pass through the curve. It just touches it at a point, something like this. Now I'm just giving an instance. This is where they intersect. Okay, if that is the case, which means there is equal root, and there are conditions for this. Now let me take this off and show you something again. We have nature of root. If b squared is equal to 4ac, we say this is what? Equal root. Okay, as we have in this case. If b squared is greater than 4ac, we say this is what? It has real roots. Well, if b squared is less than 4ac, then you see this is what? Imaginary root. Okay, yeah. But in this case, we can say it has what? Equal root, because the straight line touches the curve at a given point, just one point. So we are going to use b squared is equal to 4ac. Now let me erase this again. There is a general form of a quadratic equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant term. Now look at this. Look at this equation. What can you say a is? A is equal to 2, the coefficient of x squared. B is equal to what? Minus 4, minus 24 rather. Yeah. Okay. Minus 24. And what about c? C is equal to all of this constant term. 64 minus a. Yes. So 64 minus a. Now we're going to use this condition here. B squared is equal to 4ac. This one here, to work this out. Now let's go. B squared is what? Minus 24. So that will be minus 24 squared is equal to 4 times a. A is what? 2. Then times, what about c? C is 64 minus a. 64 minus a. Let's wrap this in a bracket. Minus 24 raised to the power 2 is 576, and this is equal to 4 times 2 is 8, 8 bracket 64 minus a. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to divide both sides by 8 so that I will get rid of 8 from here. Divide both sides by 8, this by 8. If you divide 576 by 8, you are going to get 72. Then 8 cancels 8, so you have 64 minus a. Now let's transpose negative a to the left hand side. You're going to have a, and when you transpose 72 to the right hand side, you have minus 72. So a is equal to what now? A is equal to minus 8. 64 minus 72 is minus 8. Now we have gotten the value of a. We'll plug in the value of a into that equation we had before, which was what? 2x squared minus 21x minus 3x plus 64, plus 64 minus a is equal to 0. We already know what a is. A is what? Minus 8. So that would be 2x squared minus 21x minus 3x. Oh, I already simplified this, but let's just have it like that, plus 64. A is minus 8, so that's minus then minus 8. Remember, a is minus 8 is equal to 0. Now moving on, let me just simplify this. That would be 2x squared minus 21x minus 3x is minus 24x. We did that before. And then 64 minus negative 8, that will be what? 64 plus 8. 64 plus 8 is what? 72. That's plus 72 is equal to 0. Since we want to get the value of x, we need to factorize this and then get the value of x from there. So let's think of two factors. Okay, before I do that, let's divide through by 2 because we can actually simplify by 2. So divide through by 2 and even 0 by 2, because whatever you do on the left hand side, you must do on the right hand side as well. So 2 cancels 2. Maybe I should change the color here now. 2 goes into 24, you have 12, okay? And then 2 goes into 72, you have 36. 0 divided by 2 is 0. So you have x squared minus 12x plus 36 is equal to 0. Let's factorize this now. It's much easier factorizing this than what we had before. So think of two factors. When you add, you're going to get minus 12. When you multiply, you get 36. Now the two factors have to be negative numbers because we have minus 12 here. So what should they be? Minus 6 and then minus 6. Minus 6 plus minus 6 is what? Minus 12, which is what we have here. And then minus 6 times minus 6 is what? 36, which is also what we have here. So let's use that. Open two brackets to save time and equate all of this to 0. Let me erase this here to keep this neat. Now that, you know, the two factors we had was negative 6. So x minus 6, put it here, and what? X minus 6. All is equal to 0. From 0 product rule, since x minus 6 in bracket and then x minus 6, they are both equal to 0, the product of x minus 6. What this means is that x minus 6 is equal to 0, or x minus 6 is equal to 0. So x is equal to, if you transpose negative 6 to the right hand side, you have 6. Or transpose negative 6 here to the right hand side, you have what? 6. So what does this mean? X is equal to 6 twice. And this just agrees with what we did because the point where the straight line touches the quadratic graph is at point 6. So x is equal to 6 at that particular point. All right, I hope you got value from this video. If you enjoyed this video, kindly subscribe to this channel for more content like this and share this video to your friends and family. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.